Welcome. Welcome to Coláiste, Éamann Rís. My name is Niamh Fanning. I'm the drama director here in this school. Tonight we're going to celebrate the real stories of real people who have lived on the streets that led you here tonight. We're very privileged to have many of the descendants join us here. Jim Hegarty and his family, the Fennells, the Fords and the O'Learys. None of this would be possible without the research that Jim Hegarty completed for his book about his family, which is available to purchase outside. I'm sure you've seen it on your way in. And Jim was kind enough as well to travel all the way down from Dublin to give us a history talk and give us more context and more background to the efforts of his family and many other people that were involved. And we also got to go down and see the Laurels house. Maurice Deneen, the producer of the script, brought us down, gave us a whole tour, and he fixed up the house to look exactly like it did in the 1920s. So that was a hugely immersive experience for our students, and they were so inspired by it. To the point where we have students who are now, Ryan Deneen painted the art you see on your programs about the play and on the posters. He's currently doing an animation about one of the scenes. We've had Sky Dignan did the montage that you see here that you're going to see in a few minutes with us. And they've been so inspired by this. It's been so exciting, and we've been working very hard on it for the last few months, so I really hope that you enjoy the show. Thank you.
When Ireland's freedom was denied and her people were downtrodden, when brave young heroes risked their lives to take part in the fight, I'll tell you of the Hegartys who should not be forgotten. In County Cork they went to work and vowed to put things right. Market gardening was their trade, on land blessed by the heavens. To their door, be they rich or poor, the citizens were fed. John Joe worked harvesting crops, but also stored the weapons, potatoes, bronze, and tin can bombs alongside the planting beds. They joined the fight against the might of tyrants, Tans, and Tommies. They went to door with those next door and beat them black and blue. They saw the cull of old John Bull, a nation without morals. Now show your class and raise your glass to the Hegartys of the Laurels. Nan and Mamie joined the common from its first inception. They quickly moved up through the ranks as officers they served. They carried arms to local battles, avoiding interception. Guns and bullets, rifles, guns, completely unobserved. Weekly visits to Cork prison to sit with starving comrades. They held their brows and cared their brows with care and dignity. And when these men at last succumbed to the ravages of hunger, the sisters charged the jailers with murder first degree. They joined the fight against the might of tyrants, Tans, and Tommies. They went to war with those next door and beat them black and blue. They saw the call of old John Bull, the nation without morals. Now show your class and raise your glass to the Hegartys of the Laurels. In the grim Cork County Jail in the year of 1920, Joseph Murphy gave his life so Ireland could be free. He served his country with distinction and with courage plenty. His greatest friend in the end was John Joe Hegarty. They joined the fight against the might of tyrants, Tans and Tommies. They went to war with those next door and beat them black and blue. They saw the call of old John Bull, the nation without morals. Now show your class and raise your glass to the Hegartys of the Laurels. Show your class and raise your glass to the Hegartys of the Laurels.
Tonight, we will tell the story of the Hegarty family of Powladuff Road. This family of market gardeners were one of many families who stepped up for the Irish cause in the 1910s and 1920s. Their home, the Laurels, was a center of Republican activity, acting as a safe house, a bomb factory, an arms dump, a meeting place, and the list goes on. We will explore the efforts of ordinary people during the War of Independence and the impact the Civil War had on relationships across Ireland. Through the stories of Mamie and Nan Hegarty, we will take you on a journey through some of the often overlooked contributions of women during the war. Right now, it's 1920, and we're in the middle of the War of Independence.
The power was built. It was a beautiful sight, the raging flames.
Indeed it was. I'll never forget it.
And I'll never forget the look on your face when your man came around the corner. Now, Mamie, you should have seen him. He jumped a mile out of his skin.
I thought it was a package. But it was just old Master Boyle.
Sure. I'm still scared of him myself. We're long gone from school.
Well, I'm just glad you're both back safe and sound. See?
You had a successful mission, so lads.
Oh, I see! Oh, no! Now, take it with the pistol, with the brassiere!
Yes, my friend. Diggy, lie down inside and catch that time. Do not move until we give you a signal. Do you know where that is?
Mamie, I planted half that garden. Trust me, I know where the celery is.
Go on then. Good evening, Constable.
If you tell us what exactly you're looking for, maybe we can...
We have reports of suspicious activity in the area.
What kind of suspicious activity?
No trouble at the barracks.
But sure, no one's been to Toker Barracks in years.
Well, they were tonight, burning it to the ground. You don't happen to know anything about that. Would you dare?
No, sir.
It'd be a shame for a lovely young girl like you to get involved with a crowd like that.
Don't turn down my business! My name is John Joe Hegarty, and this is my big sister, Mamie. This is our family home of market gardeners. You live here alone?
With our parents. They're sleeping at the moment.
Who else is in the house?
Our youngest sister, Nan.
Good evening. May I ask what it is you were doing outside at this hour of the night? And why is that?
I can't believe it!
What?
You were smoking! She was smoking! I was not! Yes, you were. I can smell it on you.
I can smell it. Who were you really, man?
You see, it is true. How could you, Nan?
Who gave them to you?
No one, so you stole them?
I wasn't smoking.
What does Mom always say?
I don't know.
What does Mom always say?
I don't know.
Yes, you do! She says if you ever put a cigarette near your lips...
I smacked them off your pretty face!
Mommy, I wasn't smoking.
Joanna, don't lie!
I wouldn't dream of it.
When I was
to interrupt your sleep, ma'am.
That's quite all right.
Good night, constables. Safe journey home. Goodbye.
You did well, man. You did well.
Thanks to you, Mamie.
Mammy, you had me so scared.
So, sure was I dear. The trick is to never let them know.
That's true. It's okay to be scared. You just have to ensure that your enemy is petrified.
I'm mortified in that case. Did you see the face on that constable when he saw Mammy walk out in her nightgown? It's like one of the lying faces on the Shandon Tower.
Scarlet, full of boss, mommy.
Hey, ma'am.
So, what had Michael Collins planned for tonight?
To burn all the income tax records in the country.
Just imagine the disruption that'll cause the British administration. They'll be totally set back without those tax records.
And quickly set to work putting out the dozens of bonfires lighting across the country as we speak.
Is that what brought the RIC to my door?
No, they're here regarding Collins' other order to burn all the abandoned barracks. So in our case, Toker Barracks.
I knew I could smell smoke. But sure, no one's been to the Toker Barracks in years.
And thanks to Nan, John Joe, Joe Murphy, and the rest of H Company, no one will be returning to Toker Barracks for years.
Imagine if those men knew that the very guns that they use in that operation lie in our very own pigsty.
And were brought back from the Toker Barracks by our very own Nan Hegarty.
Don't be joking, my master, really. Cork City is far too dangerous to be joking. Sure, wasn't it only 2 weeks ago that Tomas McCurtain was murdered? God rest his soul.
Amen.
Murdered in his own home. Our Lord Mayor. I know what those tans can do, and I don't want to see it with my own eyes, my own kitchen.
Don't worry, Nanny. Tell me slán shabbat, I'm sure.
Ma onan tú slán shabbacha, ni veg tú serbajo. I hawa fosti.
Do you believe that to be true?
I believe it is. As long as we're fighting, we'll never be safe. But if we don't fight, we'll never be free.
So we fight on.
We fight on. Wait, Mamie, you're bleeding.
Oh, it's nothing. I caught myself on Davy's teacup. Davy!
John Joe Hegarty, Davy Leary, and the boys raised one mighty flame over Toker. Tax records, important documents, and the local barracks. They had a hand in burning the whole lot to the ground, with the guns procured by Nan Hegarty. Sorry. Poor Davy Leary was almost forgotten as he was hiding in the secret hole beneath the celery patch in their back garden, which was used to hide rebels and weapons alike. Chaotic times, but for Mamie and John Ford, what better a time to go get married?
Davy Leary, how's it going?
Hello, JJ. Well, boys, you're looking better, dapper. Joe Murphy, I hardly recognize you without the dirt.
Davy, you don't look too bad yourself, bye.
Say, baby, are all the sentries in place?
Fair play to that Maud Mitchell. I spotted these 5 involved members on my way from the law. She has been well placed.
Indeed, she's a fine woman.
And the volunteers?
You're looking at 2 of them right now.
Yes, 3 of us.
Are you mad? There's volunteer station all around the house. You go in there, John Joe.
Maud Mitchell has every man and woman on high alert to see that you and your family are kept safe.
There's absolutely no need to worry.
There's always a need for it, Joe.
Well, JJ, today, let us do it for you.
In you go now. We wouldn't want you to miss the ceremony, now would we?
Sure, Joe.
There's bound to be something.
Oh, of course, why?
When it's most of the son that thou art with the woman I love, my Mary, you'll be standing out here gathering the church.
Like you'll get married.
Boy, what's this off?
Ranger shot
The Hegartys had taken part in the Farron Barracks raid just a week earlier and supplied arms from their collection at Laurels. Their parents, Patrick and Elizabeth, handed over their home to support the Irish cause for freedom. And now, their daughter Mamie was putting their lives further in danger by having a full military wedding instead of keeping a low profile. There must have been some interesting conversations in that kitchen table. The Loch Church was the venue, and John Ford, the groom. The first military wedding of the Irish Republic. But sure, she knew they needed it. A bit of love in all the ash. Nan and Mamie's dresses were custom made in Black Thorn House on Patrick Street, thanks to Father O'Flynn, who convinced our warrior women to wear their dresses instead of their military uniform. Weeks after the wedding, many Irish volunteers were taken, accused, and imprisoned without trial for crimes they did not commit. In turn, the prisoners took a stand against their treatment and went on a hunger strike. Mamie and Nan Hegarty, alongside fellow Common Amon member Maud Mitchell, were quick to get to work, using their nursing skills to tend and care for the prisoners like Michael Fitzgerald and Joe Murphy at Cork City Jail.
Is that Mary O'Leary back again?
Indeed, they've been courting for a while. She's been caring for Joe throughout the whole hunger strike.
She seems to be Joe Murphy's angel. It's heartbreaking.
Everything about this is heartbreaking.
Is there any news from McSweeney and Brixton?
No good news. According to Con Harrington, he's tired and emaciated just like our boys here. They haven't got much time left in him. If they don't get political prisoner status, I dread to think what will happen.
Muriel bucked.
I know, the poor woman.
There was a group of civilians outside the prison this morning. Their plight is being recognized.
That crowd can't carry a tune, let alone free our boys. You're right. The protesters are helping, and you're helping by being here. Joe Murphy, Michael Fitzgerald, and the others would be lost without your company. Your work is valued. You are important. Don't ever forget that, Mamie.
Maud Mitchell, we'd all be lost without you.
Go on, my darling. Go back to the Laurels and tell John Joe how the men are faring.
Are you comfortable? I won't be here tomorrow, but Nan and Maud will be. Good evening, Michael.
Swan, I'll phone.
Swan, Michael.
While the ladies of Common Amon and the women and their families did all they could to support the hunger strikers of 1920, 22 of them still died. Michael Fitzgerald was the first Republican hunger striker to die, but his death was overshadowed in public memory by the death of fellow hunger striker, Terence McSweeney, the Lord Mayor of Cork, who died shortly after him. It was a strike that galvanized the nation and only helped the Republican cause for freedom. Joe Murphy wished to stand at the altar with his beloved Mary O'Leary, but instead, it was Mary standing by him as he sacrificed himself for his country. Mary stood by him again as his coffin was lowered into the ground. A tragic loss, but still, the fight went on. One of the most notable came 2 years ago, after the strike at the jail in March 1922. Sean O'Hegarty, commander of the RRA in Cork, meets with the Hegartys to go over his plan for an ambush and one for the history books: the seizure of the Up-Nor, a Royal Navy vessel ready to set sail from Cove on its way across the Celtic Sea. Mamie's husband, John Ford, had access as undertaker for the Navy to Spike Island's soon-to-be decommissioned naval base. They also knew it was going to be full to the brim with guns and bullets, and ripe for the picking for the Republican cause. And in the nick of time of that, as Commandant will have those rifles in the hands of the Republicans, just in time for the Civil War, as it rears its ugly head.
So, Hogline military base is being decommissioned?
Yes,
All the arms and ammunition are being moved to the UK.
that's the plan.
Plans can fall through pretty easily. Oh, God. Maybe. Yourself and John will need to gather more intelligence. Being official undertakers, you can go in and out of Cove and the barracks without any suspicion.
That's no problem, Sean. I'll tell John as soon as I get home.
They've got a map of the harbour.
are in the arms.
Perfect. So this is where the upload will leave. And to get to Devonport, we'll be travelling this way. So best place to capture would be?
Ballycotton.
Ballycotton.
Mimi, you're actually set up to come on in Ballycotton.
I can get in contact with the girls in the morning.
Good. We'll contact Michael Burke about Cove. He has some fine minutes coming.
Yes, you should. You can also store them here in the Laurels. Or in Mimi's house in Greenmount. And I'm sure the Mitchells wouldn't mind helping a little, you know?
We can help carry arms back into the city as well.
Grand job. You make a good team, you Hegartys.
Just breathe, boy. You'll be fine. Dad, Amy.
Oh, bless us.
How do you know how to do that?
Miss Elwood told all of us in Hannah branch. Now go get the poutine out of John Joe's hiding place, Davy.
He doesn't have any pushing.
I know you do. Now give it up. What's your own name, sir? Well, I'm Mamie. I'm Nan and John Joe's sister, and a friend of Davy here. I'm going to take care of you. Cheers. Oh, would you like a drink before we start? Okay. Welcome to the Laurels.
Treaty or no treaty, all soldiers who needed help were welcome at the Laurels. The Civil War started in 1922 and lasted one long year until May 1923. By this time, Sean Hegarty has stepped down as commander of the IRA in Cork and was replaced by Tom Crofts, the new face of the anti-treaty forces.
Now, Tom, this is my sister Nan Hegarty. Nan, this is Tom Crofts.
The famous Nan Hegarty. Sean Hegarty has told me plenty about your sister.
All good things, I hope.
Nan, Tom Crofts is the anti-treaty commanding officer.
What about Sean Hegarty?
Sean Hegarty has taken a neutral role in the Civil War. He has gone to Dublin to broker a deal with Mulcahy. He is, unfortunately, no longer the commanding officer.
Fortunately for you.
I look forward to continuing working with you and your family. Con Harrington in City Hall has assured me that the Laurels and everyone within are a great asset to this war. I owe thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Hegarty.
I'm sure I'll send on the message. Come now, Tom. We must ready ourselves for the meeting.
Send James Leahy and Dan Green my best wishes when you next journey to Thurles.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Tom Crofts.
The pleasure was all mine.
I know.
Come, Tom.
How the treaty has changed the way things are. Or at least, that's how it's supposed to have gone. Instead of the RIC knocking on their door, it's a Free State officer looking for just the same as the constables that came before them. Only now, he knows who you are, and if you're lucky, you probably grew up with him. Because right now, the Civil War is in full swing. Friends against friends, family against family, Irish against Irish.
charming evening, isn't it, John Joe? Now, lads, there's no need to fight. We're just gonna take your stuff and go.
Just as the times when I seen it before.
What was that? Do you have a problem, dear? Mrs. Hegarty, where the weapons been? Where are they? Should have fired this one. Will you tell me where the weapons are?
Sir, there's a motorcycle parked in the front yard. It can be used to transport arms and intelligence.
So that's your secret weapon, isn't it? Confiscate them immediately.
Yes, sir.
Got any more hiding places?
No, sir!
How, Joshua, where do you keep the rest of your arms?
Sir, we've confiscated the motorcycle.
Very well.
One of the best views of Cork is certainly when you're up on the train. And indeed, Nan always got an eyeful of it on her way up the Tipperary line. She took a carriage with her, with the Sarsfield family company, and with a carry-on bread basket full of guns and ammo, and at the station up in Thurles, she'd pass the bread off to Brigade Commander James Leahy.
Are you fighting any brothers or sisters in this war?
Well, John Joe and Mamie are anti-treaty like myself, but there is one man who's the closest thing to the brother.
Davy?
JJ? Leary! Status!
The Civil War ended in May 1923. Friends who stood on either side of the treaty could come together once more. Not as opposite sides of an ambush in the middle of nowhere, but in each other's homes and with each other's families. Many reconciled, some did not. It was for many a painful process, but we can't ignore the truth of it. This war was fought by brave men with weapons who were willing to sacrifice their lives. And it was fought by courageous women with secrets, hidden messages, weapons trafficking, nursing, and so much more.
This is life.
What's that now?
This is how our life came to be. No fighting, no struggle, no war. What do you expect us to do?
Don't you be getting more. There's plenty of work we don't have. Watch the crops you eat it.
I was just in Sullivan's field and I saw you working. Do you need a hand?
We could have used a hand fighting the treaty, but you're a few months late, so no, thank you.
I knew this was a bad idea.
Oh, I missed your wisdom, David. Always thinking in hindsight. Who exactly are you supporting in the hurling match this evening? I guess we'll have to see who wins.
Not doing this,
Shall we?
JJ.
There he goes off again. Running away like the coward he is.
Coward! You're the coward! You gave up! Or do you not remember? The anti-treaty were told to cease fire. You caved. You laid down your arms.
Gave up? I spent 10 years of my life fighting to free this country. And do you realize how it feels to... How do you think I feel to realize that I have failed?
JJ, the Free State is a stepping
The
stone.
Free State is a farce!
I can't have this conversation if you're not willing to listen to me, JJ.
Go on then, I'm listening.
The treaty means Ireland is a free state with its own government and army. Yes, it's part of the British Empire, but Michael Collins even had plans.
Not much use of it, is it? It's a dead man's plan!
That's what JJ. We've all been fighting our whole lives. It's not like both you took the wrong side.
Oh, hey! Stop watching blood. I am tired of all this nonsense. People have fought, sacrificed, and died for you. So many of us have been killed. Our city was burned to the ground. And instead of rebuilding it, we were divided, pitted against our brothers, our neighbours, our friends. Both sides lost brilliant men. Cohabra, Liam Lynch, Arthur, Michael Collins. The war is over. It doesn't have to be like this anymore.
I just can't.
He was arrested, Davy.
I heard.
Did you hear he got out?
Oh, let me guess. You're going to tell me some wonderful story about a big, brilliant plan made by the Hegartys to get JJ out of prison.
I wish.
We were planning one, but he didn't stay there long enough to see it through.
I'm sure it would have made a great plan, though.
It really was. The real story is much more simple. Tell him what it was.
Go on, then.
I was released by a Free State officer. A man who was pro-treaty just like yourself. He managed to arrange my release. And believe it or not, he saved my life.
Well, lucky you.
Lucky? Very lucky me. Lucky he knew who I was. And lucky he helped me when I was in need. Most men, baby, weren't so lucky. Look, Davy, I'm sorry. When I was released, I realized that friends are more important than foes. You, Davy, are a good friend.
You sound too, boy.
You know, Davy, you know this game better than anyone. You love this game, and we all know you belong here.
A lot has happened since the war, John Joe.
A lot has happened, but not much has changed.
How do you mean?
Take a look around you. The celery isn't standing. The potatoes are still on the ground. It might have been years, but your name is Davy there, and the doors to the Laurels always open.
She's some woman, by.
I know she is.
Now, who's for a cuppa? Hello. Thank you for watching. That was amazing. I'm so proud of our wonderful actors there. There was a bit of improv at the end. It wasn't always so violent. But they're all okay. Everyone's safe, and they managed to improv that so well. So I'm so proud of them. I have a few people to thank before we let them come back on stage. I'd like to thank Maurice Deneen. He has produced this script and the film, which will be released on the 13th of April, and to Elizabeth Scanlon, who wrote the script, to Christian Vukaripa and Jamie Moss, who wrote the narration that you heard tonight, to Adam Duggan, our props master, to Katie Nyhan, Warren Connolly, Mia Dowling O'Mahony for the costumes, making the wedding veils, to John Murphy for the lovely Hegarty song you heard earlier on, to Matthias Golek and Eric Zhikovic, who is doing the sound tonight, Aaron Delaney and the crew, to Aaron, Wolf, Adele and Kevin and all of the teachers of the school who have been very gracious with our practicing, to my assistant directors, Breed Gleeson, Roisin Hickey, Ciara Hutchinson and Ciara Tobin, and to all the parents that have been so supportive of your pupils. They're an absolute credit to you. It was so much fun working with them for the last year. Every rehearsal has been so much fun, and they've been such hard workers, so I'm very proud of them. And thank you again to the family. Thank you.